Good morning, everybody. Another episode of the Keep Going podcast, athletes shining a light on mental health. Super excited. Got Tony V in the building, and we have an all baseball pod today. David Mitchell, where are you coming out of?
Coming out of Colorado today. There's a couple fires that started near us, so say some prayers for those fires to be put out. But yeah, I'm coming out of Steamboat Springs, Colorado today.
Yeah, it's nice to see you back in your home base. How was the house sitting? And hopefully everything's okay with those fires as well.
Yeah, the house sitting was great. It was kind of scary last Sunday. The house where I was sitting, it got ordered evacuation and then it went back to pre-evacuation. But they put out that fire. But there's one more fire that's like 300 acres burning right now. That's kind of isolated, but let's hopefully they can put that fire out and fires all across the nation right now.
Yeah, it's been that way. And Tony, where are you coming out of today?
Coming out of New Hope, Pennsylvania.
Oh,
And
Pennsylvania.
we are having the same issues with the fires up in Canada. The whole Northeast has been under
Yep.
red alert for air quality. The entire week has been really crazy with, basically looks like you're in some type of sci-fi movie. The sun looks like just a little yellow spot. It really, it's scary. The air quality is not good at all. We had a little bit of rain yesterday, so hopefully today's a little bit clearer, but prayers and thoughts out to everybody across the country is it is scary. A lot of people out there have breathing issues. This doesn't help, that's for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I live in Chicago myself, and I looked across my apartment complex, and you couldn't see much Thursday and Friday. So, once again, thoughts and prayers for everybody, air quality, the fires, everything else going on with that parasite as well, with the health side of things. Let's get everybody healthy going into a fresh week. Tony, speaking of a fresh week, man, this is our 191st episode today. Why did you want to be a part of it, man?
Well, I watched some of your episodes and I was overwhelmed with how you handle things and the idea of being taking care of the mental part of athletes and how sincere and coming from your heart, and especially from another baseball guy. That's why I reached out to you, and I thought it would be real important to share our thoughts and ideas for anyone who's interested. So I
Yeah.
think you guys are doing a great job.
Well, I appreciate that. And Tony, like we said in the prelude, this is a bunch of baseball guys. I know Jackie's on the women's basketball side. She's not with us today. For the three of us, baseball has impacted our lives so much. I was telling David last night, I was at Country Thunder in Twin Lakes, Wisconsin,
Okay.
and Riley Green was playing. Lone Star, if you're a country fan, was playing, and some other great bands. And I texted David, I said, send me Bill Blank's number. Bill Blank was a catcher that played for me 7 years ago now, that was at the concert, got to take a picture with him, got to see him. It's those little things why I love this game so much. But you've gone the extra mile. Not only have you played and coached, but you've had Special Olympics and other pockets become your image as well. Let's start with early on, Tony V. When did the ball get into your hands, man?
Well, officially, I was about 5 years old. And
Yeah.
believe it or not, Pat, I started out as a left-handed catcher.
There it is. I've heard it before. I've heard it
Yeah,
before.
little league, up in the northeastern part of Pennsylvania. And being left-handed, I did not want to play in the outfield. I was bored. Didn't have any idea of pitching at that time. I wanted to catch. So I caught with my own glove. And the problem is, Pat, about maybe 4 or 5 games into the season, I was throwing the ball back harder to the pitcher than he was throwing to me.
Yeah,
And
that creates
my
some issues. Yep.
yes, it does. Yes, it does. So finally, my father talked me into, why don't you try to pitch? I said, I don't want to do that. That's not fun. I'd rather catch. I'd rather get dirty, and be involved in every play. So it started back then. And the interesting part is how I got involved with people with disabilities is early on in the neighborhood I grew up, there were some kids who were quote unquote in special ed.
Yeah.
And at that time, the word retarded was used. And that's kind of the classification that people were put in. And for whatever reason, I'm sure it had a lot to do with my parents. I was very open to taking, being their friend, taking care of them, picking them, when we would play stuff in the neighborhood. And it really never changed. It really never changed. But, all through high school, I was very protective of the kids. Throughout high school, I was a three-sport athlete. And, people respected me as a person, but I wanted to protect them. I just had something in my heart saying, hey, these people are good people. Leave them alone. They don't want to be hurt. They don't want to fight. Yeah. It just was a bad scene. And I've seen that throughout my life with the athletes that I coach currently in Special Olympics and also Base Able, that a nonprofit I started to help individuals with disabilities to make them, give them an opportunity to be a part of a team. And that's really what they want, Pat. There's 62 million people in the United States who have some type of disability. That's a lot of people. That's almost a third of the population. And we really need to touch these people.
What a beautiful testimony. And once again, with my background in baseball, I've also done work with Miracle League and Special Olympics and NWSRA. So when you said you wanted to come on and talk about that, man, you plucked on my heartstrings, brother. And that's just an amazing testimony. And what I will tell you, it's not like a lot of the people that we interview. You think of someone with your stature and your background that you would go right into your playing career. You chose to go right into what really hits you. And it's working with kids and players with special needs, I feel like.
Thank you. Yeah, it has been throughout my life. Even when I was a professional ball player, I was drawn to people with disabilities. A lot of my teammates, would spend a little time, but most of them walked right by them. I would go over and talk to them, take pictures, sign autographs, whatever, but just hang out with them and talk to them. And then throughout my life, I had the opportunity of starting with Special Olympics New Jersey. The CEO at that time said something to me, Pat, that stuck with me for pretty much the rest of my life. Is he said, and just like you have on and Dave has on, wear a baseball hat every day. You wear a baseball hat and you love the game. These individuals, men and women, boys and girls, wear a hat, but never had the opportunity. And we need to change that. So I tell people, he had me at the hat. That was it for me. We needed to change that and give them an opportunity. So that started back in 2011.
What a blessing. I talked about Miracle League earlier. The slogan or the quote is, every child deserves the chance to play baseball. And that always stuck with me. It's like, this game changed our lives. This game amplified every other thing we were looking to do. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Here's where I want to go next. We touched on Special Olympics. We touched on your passion for that. When did you know, hey, I'm going to play high level baseball? Was there a light bulb moment? Did you hit a big home run? Did you break the pitcher's hand eventually, throwing the ball back to him? Like, what was that moment for you, man?
Well, it's interesting you asked that question. I grew up in an area where there are a lot of professional athletes that came out of that area. And I never thought that I was really that good, because there were always a few guys who were older who just had a name. You just want to work your way up through the system.
Yeah.
But I was a junior in high school, and I was playing Legion baseball, and I had a really good season, but I wasn't picked for the All-Star team, and I was disappointed. Well, about 2 days before the game occurred, I got a call, and the guy who was picked in front of me got caught shoplifting and was arrested.
Oh my goodness.
So I was given an opportunity and said, hey, would you like to play? I said, sure. I showed up at the All-Star game. They threw me the ball and said, here, you're starting. Well, I struck out the first 5 out of 6 batters I faced and hit a triple. And all of a sudden, the lights went on. People from all over the place are saying, this guy can play. And again, I didn't think anything more of it. Unfortunately, my senior year in high school playing football, right before our first couple of games, I injured my left shoulder in a freak accident. And my high school football coach decided to call all the schools that were offering me scholarships and tell them I was hurt. So I lost all my scholarships and had to start from scratch. So
Wow.
we talk about going from, a Division I athlete in possibly two sports, football and baseball, to having nothing. And it was a shock that went through my entire system. Like, now what do I do?
Yeah, first and foremost, that guy got Wally pipped, by the way. That's a tough bounce. He shoplifted once and you took his spot. Second thing, the more I work in the recruiting side, it's actually not the first time I've heard of a high school coach doing that with like an injury or something of that regard. I never understood that. How did you get past that? Where'd you end up? How'd you end up where you got to?
Well, after that, I continued to play, and I had a small college up in the northern part of Pennsylvania come and watch. And the coach approached me and said, "Hey, I don't know how you're still available, but I'd love you to come to our school. You can play two sports. You're going to get a great education. I know that we're lucky to have an opportunity to have you. Would you like to come?" I said, "Sure." I didn't have any other offers. So his name was Coach Gene Demzowski, and he just came up and said, "Look, I love to have you. I love the way you play. I love your spirit, your attitude. Come to our school and play."
What a
And
blessing.
that was it. It definitely was. You talk about angels, like we're surrounded with angels that guide us through our life. He, in my opinion, he definitely was. He gave me an opportunity that other people just thought I was done,
Oh,
and
man.
it worked out. So incredible to this day. I thank him. I was inducted into their Hall of Fame a couple years ago, and
Hey,
unfortunately, he was pretty.
can we let everybody know what school that was too as well? Go ahead.
Sure, it's Wilkes University.
Wilkes University. So it would have been at that time. Was it a junior college then? Is it a Division III
No,
now?
no, it was a small college,
Yeah,
just a small
got
D3
it.
school.
There it is. Still a
I,
thing.
I,
Yeah,
I lost my opportunity to go to Clemson, Florida State,
yeah.
Villanova, all gone.
I had to
So
give some little love for that because we're small school guys. Like we were
okay,
JUCO, NAIA, D3 guys. So I want to shout out that school. Go ahead, continue. Yeah,
yeah. And at that time, Pat, JUCO and NIA, that really nobody really talked about them at
yeah,
that time. That was quite
correct.
quite that whole opportunity. So basically at a small school, it's like, okay, you come here and we'll help you out. You have to have good grades. And I was playing two sports. I played two sports for
Yeah,
3 years.
love it.
So, but I have friends, to this day, teammates and friends that have just been incredible. It was a great experience in my life. So, somebody was looking out for me at that point, to kind of being that lost soul after losing all those opportunities and having one person step up and say, "Hey, I got you." And
What a lesson, man. Go ahead.
that has resonated through my life, and that's what I look at my athletes now with disabilities. That's what I want to do for them. They want to be a part of something. They want to be, on the field. Someone gave me an opportunity, Pat, and I wanted to give that back. I want to pay that forward, and I think I've done that, but I'm not done. There's a lot more people that need to be touched out there.
In the words of the late great Kobe Bryant, job's not finished. And it's just how we go about our business. And I think what inspiration for a kid listening today going, it just takes one. It really does. It just takes one. And Tony, I tell a lot of people this, but David played for me in junior college at Rock Valley College.
Okay.
And I remember talking to Dave and trying to get him to come to Rockford, Illinois from Barrington, Illinois. If you know those areas, it's different. Dave took the opportunity. He came out that way. He balled out. He hit the crap out of the ball, went on, got a scholarship, and now we're doing this. So I just look at it like I love not only like your background, but you're a natural storyteller, man. Like that's your biggest strength. I feel like. Do people tell you that all the time?
They do. They do.
I
Well,
knew it.
I've written a few books,
Yeah,
and
man, you're good.
I didn't have as much confidence with that, but I wanted to share my story. In fact, I think I shared something with you. I just wrote a children's book a little while ago to start that process at a younger age about acceptance. But as you mentioned earlier in the podcast, baseball has changed and has been such a huge part of all of our lives. And I don't think there's a better sport out there that creates that kind of environment. I mean, I look at my friends, I look at my family, I look at the people I'm associated with. A lot of it has to do with baseball. In fact, I was at an event last night. I got a chance to talk with Fergie Jenkins,
Legend. We're
and
Cubs guys, man. We're Cubs guys on this
well,
podcast.
I was with him last night. I'll see him later on today at the same event. It's a scholarship event,
Amazing.
and just a complete gentleman, class act. The other person I got to spend some time with was Bill White,
Yep.
former player, commentator, and president of the National League. Again, a class act. And I look at my life and I look at those opportunities. Those wouldn't happen without the game of baseball.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to ask you one more question. I'm going to kick it over to
Sure.
Dave. The preface of our podcast,
Okay.
you've listened, is the keep going moment. That's the heavy hitter. That's why people come back. Tony, what was your keep going moment and how'd you get through it, man?
Keep going moment for me was when I was playing with the Red Sox and I was injured in an automobile accident. I was hit from behind.
Talk about it. Yeah, talk about it.
I was hit from behind by a drunk driver. Was on my way up through the system, getting invited to spring training, and next thing I know, I was being hauled off in an ambulance and told that basically, if I walk again, that would be a lucky thing. So a year and a half later of going through rehab and basically, being humbled and going through a very, very difficult time in my life mentally, very depressed, did not like myself at that time, did not think I needed help from anybody else. I could get through this. And thank God for my family and some close friends and kept guiding me back in that direction. I was going down a bad road. And basically by getting through that, I really think that was my get through, my move time of my life, that hey, I have a choice here. The sliding doors, I could go down this road and that would be an ugly one and probably a dark one, or to open that up and be thankful and have that attitude of gratitude for what I have, and give back and continue to do that. So my life changed dramatically from being a professional athlete to just being a regular guy again. And the woman I was dating at the time walked out on me because my career was over. So life was pretty rough, Pat. It was not a good time in my life, but it also taught me a lot. And the game of baseball came back into my life to help save me also.
Yeah, that's one of my all-time favorites right there, man. Like that is fantastic. Speak to someone that's going through that dark season right now. Give me one thing you would tell them.
I would tell them, do not turn people away who want to help you and who care about you as a person. Listen to them. Take the time to. It's not being a big man or a tough guy by pushing help away. I did that myself. Accept it. Listen to people who care about you, and it's coming from the heart. They want to help you. And to me, that's what really turned my life around. So if I can give one piece of advice, that advice would be to, hey, if someone reaches out to you and they care about you, take the time to listen to them.
The hairs on my arm, Dave, are straight up. I'm going to let you go, man. I'm going to take a step back. Go ahead, brother. You're up. The mailbag's hot, baby.
This episode has been great so far. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. Since we're all baseball guys, what is the biggest lesson baseball has taught you throughout your life?
Basically, never to give up. That Jimmy V, never give up. Baseball is a very humbling game, as both of you know. You're going to, and people talk about failing, Dave. I don't think it's failing. I think it's a learning experience. I think you learn. As you know, you were a hitter. You could hit the ball in the screws, hit right at somebody. Next guy in the lineup comes up and hits a dinker. He's 1 for 1. You're 0 for 1. I mean, that's just the game. That's the game of baseball, but that's the game of life. You're gonna take some ups and some downs, but it's that idea of staying level and just appreciating that you get another at bat, you get another inning, you get another pitch, and in life it's basically the same thing. You go out each day, and what I tell my high school players is, hey, go out and do something for somebody today. You have a gift. It's your responsibility to give back.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. That's a great answer. What do you want to be remembered for at the end of the day?
I'd like to be remembered as the person who never gave up on somebody, an athlete or non-athlete, but especially somebody with a disability, of not giving them an opportunity. I want to be that guy that is quote unquote, Mr. Disability for people that never thought they'd have an opportunity to be a part of a team, or to play a sport that they kind of been pushed out of. If that would be, part of my legacy, I'd be a very happy man for wherever I'm going in the future.
Nice. That's awesome. And my last question is, since we are a mental health podcast and we talk about mental health, what advice or idea would you give to someone that may be struggling with their mental health right now?
Well, a couple things. One is to be a lifelong learner. To do the work on yourself. Do some journaling. Have that attitude of gratitude, even when things are tough. And also reach out to people if you are struggling. Reach out to a teammate or to a coach or to a parent, whoever that may be. But don't turn your back on help and advice, because if someone cares about you and they want to take the time to help you, take the time to listen. I think being a good listener is huge. You can, as they say, that's why God gave you two ears. Listen and take that in. And that's been a lifelong lesson for me. I'm constantly learning. I'm learning from you guys. I'm learning from my athletes with and without disabilities. But that is really, really important. If you're struggling and times are really tough, don't take that in and close down, because that's not going to help you. Really reach out, and like I said, it may take some time. It doesn't happen overnight, but it's a process. And if you trust that, and you trust the people around you, as part of baseball is, you're going to get another at bat, you're going to get another pitch, but it may not be the one you want. You may have to change course a little bit, but that's okay.
Wow. I will say this before we send everybody out today. This is one of those interviews where a couple of things. One, you get caught listening. I would love listening for the last 10 minutes. It's great. Second thing, virtually, I want to be in person doing this today, because I can feel it through my phone, the impact that we're making. And when I say we today, Tony, I mean you. You are a natural born storyteller. You are extremely humble. Your gratitude is authentic and not faked. It's something, man. I'm just going to give you your flowers and tell you this has impacted me today. And my wife is a Division I athlete, former one now. My brother's still in college coaching. This is one where I'm going to put on and say, hey, put everything else aside and give Tony 25 minutes, because today was a masterclass, my friend.
Thank you. Hey, you guys gave me an opportunity. It doesn't happen, without that relationship.
Oh, man. Well, I hope I get to meet you soon, man. If you ever find something that you feel like we could amplify or help out, I'd love to come meet you in person. Dave, I'll let you send us out, man. But what a great time today. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tony. So much wisdom, so authentic, like Pete said, and I know you're gonna keep on impacting other people and teaching other people life lessons that you've learned. So thank you so much for your time today.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to keep trying, Dave. As again, to get that bulldog mentality. There's a lot of people out there that haven't been able to get to, and I have some good people around me, some good teammates. So I definitely want to continue to impact as many people in my life because, again, the game gave to me. It's my turn to give back, and that's what I'm trying to teach my players. My high school and my athletes with disabilities. They have become really the spokespeople for other people with disabilities. So I'll have to send you guys a video of we did a clip of them saying, "And I'm an athlete," and when you see that, it blows you away. Incredible power behind it.
Tony, send us that, man. Let us share that on our socials. I will give you one more shout out. So when I did my homework I do my homework for every episode, but I don't want to do too much, right? There's a fine line. I want to learn. I don't want to tell your story for you. Okay. I stumbled upon a picture, and if I'm not mistaken, it said, "Try not to suck" in the background. Did I see the right picture? I'm a Joe Madden Cubs guy. So can we stay there for 30 more seconds? Talk about that.
Sure. The funny story behind that is coaching high school and in the gym, as you know, you're in Chicago, I'm in Pennsylvania in the off season, you're in the gym. It's too cold out. We're trying to get my guys to play four corners.
Yep.
And they were horrible. I mean, was like, I was beside myself. I was like, "You're a varsity team. We can't do this for 2 minutes." I'd stop. We go through a mental component. We go through breathing. I tried everything. And after about 20 minutes, I looked at him. I said, "Okay, that's it. Let's try it again, but try not to suck." And I didn't think anything more of it. We got outside a couple weeks later, and I show up at practice, and all these kids have a yellow T-shirt on, and it has my picture, and it has "Try not to suck." And I asked my JV coach, "Who gave him the shirts?" He goes, "Oh, wait till you see him." And they come in from the dorm, and they are in tears, like, "Hey, coach, we got one for you." And one of the seniors and his family made him up. Well, we ended up playing for a district title. We were playing up in Allentown, Pennsylvania at the Phillies AAA ballpark. And don't they wear those as their warm-ups?
Incredible, man.
Even the other team loved it. Because again, Joe, I love Joe Madden. He's a Pennsylvania guy. He is. He's up from Hazleton, Pennsylvania, which isn't far from where I grew up. Yeah. And I just love the guy. He's an outlier, but talk about a great heart, an incredible person. And it just came out. And I didn't think anything more of it. But when you're talking about trying to impact young players, and I look back and say, great. One of my seniors, that was his senior quote, Coach V, "Try not to suck." I was like, oh, great.
Impact comes in all shapes and sizes, my friend. And you impacted that group of boys, and you didn't do it with a dictator mindset, a yelling, angry mindset. You did it with connectivity. And I think that's the beautiful thing. And that's why you work with special needs kids now and special needs players. You can connect with them in ways that others in the past have not. And I think that's an amazing thing, man. Awesome. Awesome stuff. This has been another episode of the Keep Going podcast. Check this one out, run it back, take notes on it. I had a great time. Dave had a great time. Tony, I hope you have a blessed rest of your Sunday. We'll talk soon.
I had a great time also. Hey, thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
You as well, my friend. And above all else, keep going, everybody. Thanks for the time.